On Team Fortress 2, TF2, folks were asking if they could get into the Ego clan. I have to tell you the #1 rule of all the servers. There's, I think, 28 servers, something like that. There's a lot of servers. Their #1 rule is absolute, total respect for each other. Okay, so here's the deal. Racism is absolutely not tolerated in any way, shape, or form, even jokingly. It's not tolerated on the servers at all. Now this, by the way, also corresponds to our servers. Gorbag Slayground is the most notable of it. If you are racist, you are not kicked, you are not warned, you are banned. Period. You go bye-bye. They never want to see you again. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to discuss the issue. You're out of there.
It's ban on sight.
Almost as bad as that is disrespect for players, disrespect for other players. Disrespect for the admins gets you banned. Disrespect for the players gets you kicked, warned, kicked, warned, kicked, and then finally, after 2 warnings and kicks, you get banned permanently. Respect is a #1 issue. You must show respect. You have to learn to respect. And if you can't respect, at least keep your mouth shut. And don't verbalize disrespect, because that's a very bad trait. A trait that will get you kicked and banned almost anywhere that you might want to go. Just a warning. And there's other things. For instance, swearing, cursing. Hell, damn, and bastard. I think there's one more, but those are relatively harmless. But if you say to somebody, you go to hell, or you're a bastard, then you get kicked because you're showing disrespect to another player.
Well, interestingly enough, WTF, they will mildly tolerate.
They'll tolerate it, yes.
But STFU,
no way.
They don't tolerate that at all.
Because it's disrespect to another player. It's directed at another player. You can't badmouth. If you badmouth other players, never mind admins, you badmouth the admins, you're off the server. They don't even ask you. They don't tell you. They don't warn you. You badmouth the admins, you're out of there. They won't tolerate it.
They don't like when people get all, he's a hacker. He's got a cheat bot going.
Or I don't like him or her.
They just don't want to know it.
Or he doesn't play right. Or she doesn't play right, and so forth. Or they don't. They're whatever it might be. It's called griefing. What you're doing is you're complaining about someone else.
Yeah, it's also whining.
Whining. It's called whining, griefing, wussing, and so forth. The terminology means simply that you're complaining about someone other than yourself. #1 rule in gaming is never, ever complain about someone else. A player or an admin or someone who runs a server. You'd be stupid, really stupid, to grief against the owner of a server. There are people who get on a server and all they do is whine and complain and bitch and gripe and groan. And when they do, it's unpleasant to play with them, first of all. But secondly, they're not productive. They're not productive at all. So who wants to play with them? There's 200 people right behind them who are waiting to get on the server.
If you can't be in there and be in there well, just move aside, let somebody in.
Who wants to be there?
Because any of you that tried to join the various games, you'll sit there on that join game for a long time trying to get in.
Now this is, people say, well, why should I learn how to game? Why should I learn how to do the gaming? Actually, they don't say, they say, why should I learn the gaming? Why do I have to learn the gaming? And the reason is because I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest already. I don't have to learn the gaming. And the reason you learn the gaming is because the reason you learn gaming is because gaming is analogous to the work. It is. The rules of gaming, the laws of gaming, are analogous to the laws and rules of the work. So you can think of our work here as a server. There are people who are dying to get onto this server. And you're taking a slot. There's only so many slots on my server, my work server. If you're not happy in that slot, no problem. Leave the slot. It will be immediately filled. As soon as it's vacated, it'll be filled by someone who's waiting to get on. Don't feel any obligation. Don't do me no favors. As my grandmother used to say, don't do me no favors. Yeah, don't do me no favors. Just, move along. So, if you've got a problem with the server itself, which is in this case the school, there's lots of schools, there's lots of servers, go to another one. If you have a problem with me, I'm your admin, I'm your chief admin on this server. I own the server. If you have got a problem with me, there's lots of other admins, lots of other people, lots of other folks with other servers, there's other schools. Just find one. And join that instead. Believe me, it's no problem. You can resign anytime. If you've got a problem with the other admins on my server, any of my admins, if you got a problem with us, there's lots of other servers, lots of other schools, lots of other places to go. I do not want to hear that you are complaining, bitching, groaning, whining, kvetching, griefing, because if it gets to my attention that that's happening, it means you're doing a lot of it. The only one you should complain about, if anybody, is yourself. Because any problems you've only got yourself to blame. If you're casting about looking for blame outside yourself, you are looking in the wrong place. Actually, everything that happens to you bad happens because of you. You yourself are causing your own miseries. Now, you may not realize that. You may not believe that. But actually, you like being miserable in the way that you're miserable. You like it. You like that suffering. And it makes you feel more alive to have that suffering. It makes you feel more worthwhile, more real. And so you need to realize that that's happening with you. That actually you're causing 100% of your own misery. 100%. It's not me that's causing it. Because you were just as miserable before you met me, and you'll be more miserable. You'll be just as miserable after you meet me. When you've left me and gone somewhere else, you'll be just as miserable. Because no matter where you go, there you are. You carry your crap with you wherever you go.
They might be less miserable when they go.
I don't think so.
Well, it depends. If it means that they are no longer being put in a situation where they're having to confront their situation and they're able to fall back into deep sleep.
I disagree. They're going to be just as miserable. They may not know how miserable they are, but they're going to be just.
Well, yeah, they'll be just as miserable, but they'll be anesthetized. That's
different. That's different. If you want the anesthetic, simply return to the sleep state. No big deal. If you're in too much pain, you really don't need to be exposing yourself to that pain. Anyway,